Welcome back to Shadows Awakening. I've just taken a quick look, refreshed my memory where we were, and where we are is the market in Thule, as you can see. And the reason we're here is because we found ourselves a letter while we were battling our way through a bunch of desert lizards out in the wastelands there, that described an incident where a caravan was intercepted and one of the Guild of Silk people was taken as a prisoner or a slave up into the mountains by these guys. And what he mentioned was that he worked for Arishad, and of course that's somebody that we know. We ourselves have worked for Arishad, which is this guy right here. So we're going to bring him word of this incident and see if he's got anything to say on the matter. And that might lead us on to a little bit of questing. To maybe find that camp where, interestingly enough, they were collecting slaves and zombies, which apparently are some other type of slave, sort of a la Shaun of the Dead, you know, like take shopping carts back for you or something like that.
Milady, you're still alive!
Had you heard otherwise?
It was rumored the nomads had captured you.
True enough, but I managed to escape into the outlands.
Yet you came back here. You have a secret way in and out of the city, don't you?
I can indeed get in and out of Thole, but not by a route you or any of your men can take. Please do not press me further on this matter.
Of course, my lady, I am the very soul of discretion. It's been a tough year.
That's actually kind of interesting. I appreciate the fact that they've acknowledged what I'm doing by warping around those sort of invisible waypoints. Well, invisible to the people of the city, but, you know, sort of in the shadow realm. I like that they bring that up. It's like, how exactly are you getting in and out? It's like, look, don't ask, man. There's some weird shit going on. Okay, so here we've got kind of the double cross, right? I was wondering about this, whether or not me selling out the entrance to the city was actually going to change things. Well, it looks like it has, but it looks like I can pull a double cross on them, which from my point of view is probably the best thing to do, right? I mean, I kind of sold these guys out because I didn't really picture her being the type of person who would really give a shit about whether or not this city fell. You know, everything I'm finding out about the Garulian Empire, where she is originally from before her death, that was a pretty brutal, pretty power-hungry society. But I think keeping this city as a base of operations, we have had these quests that have been bringing us back here. So let's warn them, because, you know, if there's one thing that is worse or is more effective than knowing a back way into an enemy fortification, it's that they know you know. Because you're going to be restricted, bottlenecked, you know, sneaking in, and you could suffer massive casualties if they know you're coming. So let's warn them.
Arishad, the nomads have discovered the catacombs. In a matter of days, a few weeks at most, they will be able to enter Thole.
Are you serious? I mean, it was always a possibility, but when they didn't discover them in the first few months, it seemed we were safe.
Alas, the safety of Thole is now denied you.
How did they find out?
Okay, let's outright lie.
I do not know, but they are coming.
That wasn't a very good lie.
We'll have to evacuate the city somehow, but it will not be easy. We can scarcely walk out the main gate. I have a key. It was my father's. It leads to a secret part of the catacombs. It is rumored there could be an escape route there, but it may not be easy to find it. If this is too much to ask of you, I will send my own men. But you surely have a better chance of success. What are you thinking?
All right, obviously we're going to do that. That's not really the reaction I thought they would have. You know, I thought that would be like, okay, thanks for warning us. We'll you know, block the route, or we'll protect it, or something like that. But maybe I was overestimating. You know, it could be that they're just in an extremely well fortified position, but really have no defensive forces to speak of, and therefore, they're like, we have to guard more than one thing, like the walls and the catacombs at the same time. We just don't have enough people. Or maybe I'm just overthinking it like crazy. All right, so I'll let him know that we'll do that.
I will find your escape route if it can be found. It is the least I can do under the circumstances.
Milady, I would be forever in your debt for this boon. And I will pay you 1,000 if you can find a way out down there. Here, take the key, and good luck. I don't know exactly which door this key unlocks, but my father swore it would lead to a secret route out of Toll. You are our only hope of escape now. What do you need?
Yeah, it's a little bit weird. I guess we're going to end up losing this city anyway. And I suppose if I had any conscience, I'd feel bad about the fact that it's all my fault, but I don't. Okay, now this one might prompt us a little bit on the loss of his caravan that we've discovered.
Other tasks I might perform for you in the Outlands.
There is much I would like done in the Outlands, actually. For a start, there is a giant scorpion that harasses my caravans. Not much of an issue while the siege lasts, but I like to look ahead. Not to mention the merchant caravans that went missing before the siege began. I would dearly like to know what happened to them, and to recover my men if possible. I fear by now the Sebekan slavers have them. What are you thinking?
If I can, I will bring back your missing merchants.
You are too good to me, milady.
I presume you have more than flattery to offer.
Of course. 100 for any news you can bring me, and 500 for each of my men you can return alive. I lost 2 caravans before the siege began. One led by Ibna, and one led by Selene. I suspect the nomads attacked them, and fear the worst. What do you need?
I have found your servant Selene alive and mostly unharmed. However, he will not return to you until he has recovered his lost cargo.
Ha! How like Selene. He never did like to return empty-handed. Help him recover what he lost, and I'll pay you the 500 I promised for assisting in his return.
You vouched to pay 100 for news of your men.
Very well, 100 coins. But that was not the spirit of our agreement. What are you thinking?
Alas, your servant Ibna has been captured by Sebekan slavers. I found this letter from him.
I see. Farewell, Ibna. Wherever you are. Here. I said I would pay for news. Even bad news. What do you need?
What can you offer me for slaying the giant scorpion?
Shall we say 250, milady?
Very well, Arashad. I will do it. Yet I cannot help but think this task is somewhat beneath me.
These are dark times.
Okay. What this guy here has proven to be just central. Now, I did notice there we were caching like crazy, so yeah, look, we're almost up to level 8. This is starting to roll a bit. We got a bunch of gear that was blocked off by level 8 requirement, so we're going to be looking at a little bit of that very soon, which I think is probably good news. Okay, so we basically have 2 destinations we can go and continue. Now, in the Outlands, obviously, we've got the Scorpion that we would be looking at, but we also have the situation where we want to recover that guy's lost loot, because obviously then he would come back and we'd claim another 500, so that would be good. But I think first, let's head down to the Catacombs. It's an area that we've trod over before, and an area that I kind of want to check out a little bit more now that we have that key. So I'm thinking here, probably lower Catacombs is going to be where we want to head.
It's dark here.
Now, I don't recall specifically having that bone gate anywhere, but that's probably going to be exactly what we need to check out. I'm just going to cruise around with this dude for a little bit. Now, okay, so this is the way that we would have come in, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean there's nothing there. I am going to look up ahead a little bit first, just in case. It sort of feels like that would be something that was ahead rather than behind. Okay, yeah, I remember this here. We had sort of the boss fight on either side. I don't recall what this was here. Yeah, there's no way to interact with it. I seem to remember being baffled by that before as well. Now that might be something, oh, right. Enemies.
Feel the power of a mage.
Weak, flimsy enemies. Okay. I don't see anything in particular here. If I remember correctly, that was just like a little... Yeah. Okay. Well, let's just wander around and see if we can locate the gate. I mean, this is so obviously something, but I just don't have any interaction options with it. So, who knows? Getting my clicks together as well. I've been playing a bunch of Grim Dawn, so I've got to remember what my actual controls are here. And we've got to track down a bone-keyed gate here. I sort of like how the catacombs are really just kind of a deeper layer of the city. Is, you know, very kind of reminiscent of how this stuff usually builds up. Like I was in, I took a little trip to Europe and I was in Vienna this summer. And it was really cool. You know, they have sort of a tradeway area. And walking down that tradeway, there's a couple of spots where you can actually sort of look down below street level and see the old Roman streets down below. And of course, you know, there's all these arches and stuff like that that were, you know, the Roman ruins that sort of lie beneath the modern city of Vienna. And of course, you know, that would have lain below it hundreds of years ago as well. So it's pretty cool that that's kind of how these catacombs are sort of presented, you know. It's the city below the city that has probably just grown up over time. Okay, what I haven't found though is I haven't found this bone gate. So I'm gonna keep looking for that. Is this something I can sneak through? No, just really looks like it should be. Okay, I'm gonna keep looking for that, but I'm not gonna make you guys sit around with me. So I'll see if I can find it. I'll bring you back in when I do. Okay, so I'm thinking this is probably it. Got this rusty locked door, which you remember we saw this guy who'd had a pretty terrible day on the other side of it, so let's give it a shot. There you go. Okay, so I think we're on the right track now. Unless, of course, that was a different key, but you never know. Oh boy, okay, that's very Elden Ring right there. I feel like shoving a stone sword key into that thing. Concerning. And this also makes me think that potentially this is not the right way for us to, escape the catacombs. This might just be a little side. Although, I'm still interested in that. Oh, hello. That's going to be a quest item right there, but we did also get a note. Let's take a look at this. Remember to awake the souls, perform the ritual 3 times, and don't forget the fire enchant. Okay. So presumably we've got something here that is going to be vulnerable to fire. And we need to perform the ritual 3 times. We just got the drumstick. This guy obviously performed the ritual 3 times and got his ass kicked. But I think... Well, number 1, I'm going to quick save. And number 2, I'm going to try the ritual. Now, because he's talking about potential fire and fire vulnerability, and I am particularly good at fire. But first things first, let's quickly clear this place up and try to get ourselves a couple more souls in the bag here. We're probably not going to be able to recharge, so we are pretty low to be starting a fight here with only 2 soul stones. but we have both soul stones and the power of
I'll
quicksave.
wager the gong responds to more than mere percussion.
Okay.
I'll wager the gong responds to more than mere percussion.
There. There. Okay, what is this ritual then, I wonder? We've got all these here, which I don't know whether they're gonna jet things out or need me to put something in. Now, this could be just a memory issue on my part where I know what this ritual is from previous, but I'm not remembering it right now. Come on, would you please just thank you. All right.
I shall show thee true power.
Yes, thank you. Okay. Well, I don't know exactly what to do with this, so let's see. Do we actually have check chapter 1. Yeah, see, we have a little bit of this stuff here that we haven't seen yet either. Makes me think we're missing some spots. Okay, well, we found this. I sort of thought we had it with that
I'll
drumstick.
wager the gong responds to more than mere percussion.
I have no interactivity with this. I'm interested here. Like, this to me looks like something going on right there, like he was doing a ritual. But I can't interact with that. And I can't interact with that in either realm. And we don't have the gong here. So I think it's back to the drawing board and a little bit more poking around the ruins here to see if I can find anything else. I'll be right back. I'm continuing to flail around pointlessly, not finding what I'm looking for, but I did just find this, so I figured I'd take a quick look and see what we got. Well, that is pretty good. That is pretty good. The Ring of Albino Apollyon, who did not hesitate to render aid to those poor souls who had been lost and forgotten in the lands of, spelling mistake, the Heretic Kingdoms. All right, well, I think I'm going to go ahead and put that on. Certainly a huge upgrade over this. So we'll get that going for her. Casting speed, once again, that's great. Mana regen, that's great. Hit points, everything. Good stuff, good stuff. But like I said, I'm still just running around this place, not really finding anything. I've just about poked my way all the way back to the Nomads Camp exit. And I'm going to keep digging around to see if I can find anything, but I'm not going to spend all day on this. If I can't find it, I might just go and do something else for this episode and maybe look it up in the meantime. It shouldn't be that hard, but, you know, I've been to every map extremity here, poked around, tried to find things. Nothing yet. We'll see how it goes. Okay. Here's where we're at. I have been pissing around in these catacombs. I've visited the burial grounds. I've gone back to the market. Because when I got curious, and I looked this up online, there's not a ton of material online for this game. It wasn't very popular. But I found a map of catacombs that I don't recognize. I don't know where those catacombs might be. Obviously, they're where the Spider Queen is and stuff like that, but I haven't found any other entrances. I couldn't find a lever that was supposed to be there when I went right to the spot. So I would say that I'm fairly fucking baffled at this point, because the only place I really see an entrance to is the lower catacombs. I don't know where the actual catacombs are. I looked up in the burial chambers. I've obviously missed something earlier on, but I'm a little frustrated and annoyed trying to find it right now. The map is being totally unhelpful, and I don't even recognize the zone I'm supposed to be in, so I've never been there. I've never found it. So instead, for the last few minutes here, we're going to head back out into the desert and just get a little bit of fresh air. Because, yeah, that was a tad bit annoying. And maybe I'll look at that in the future and see if I can figure it out. But yeah, it's very Very annoying indeed.
This place looks better in shadow.
All right.
Tremble, fools!
Do some murdering here. Work off a little bit of that annoyance that I was feeling from not being able to find any of the shit that was apparently around. Got ourselves another soulstone charge there, which I approve of. There we go. Oh, and a little bit of items as well. Nicely done. Okay, so let me refresh my memory and see where we're at. Okay, we've got Nomad's Camp. So, okay, the shrine. All right, I remember that. That's where we had that pretty good boss fight. And now looks like we haven't explored all the way out here, and then it looks like we've got an area out here that we haven't accessed yet. So the direction we're facing right now is the direction to press ahead, so let's get going. We're hopefully going to find that giant scorpion out here, and at some point I suppose I will get back in there and try to find the stupid catacombs that I thought I'd already cleared, but indeed have apparently never even been to in the past. Alright, now are these things just all getting up again?
Death.
Like, it looks like they are, right? It looks like we can't actually kill these things, so yeah.
Something's wrong here.
Yeah, no kidding.
Something's wrong here.
Good call. Is it all of the undead that we can't possibly defeat?
This meat is ours. Be gone.
Oh,
Return to
hello.
hell, revenants, or I shall do it for thee.
Look at that. Okay, so we just figured something out. Just evade his little attacks. Oh, he just summoned another little revenant. Well, I don't love that. Okay. That said, they're not immune to my nonsense, so I'm just going to keep trying to focus this guy down and try to ignore his summon to a degree. Although we are taking a fair amount of damage. Let's get another freeze out. Give ourselves the time to kill this guy. I think we can do it with this. There we go. All right. Now, I do wonder if we're actually going to be able to kill these things now. I'm not sure. Like, was that what was going on with these guys getting back up? Or is that just a feature of the creatures themselves? Yeah, looks like that's what was going on. So I wonder if that was the case over at that other shrine as well, and maybe that's just something we forgot to look for, is that there might be a demon hiding in the background causing shit. Okay, we're a little bit low health here, but I do not want to be using those soul stones because we're just low on charges. Okay, so we've gotten this done. Now we know to look in the Shadow Realm there for revenants who might be maintaining those guys. We'll run around as the archer a little bit here. Although, actually, I should... Yeah, see, she might not regen. Out of curiosity, what does this do? For fuck's sake, it uses soulstone. Of course, I should have known. Alright. Well, there we go. We're down a charge. She's getting really effective at clearing up these minor enemies, though. Let's just do a quick check-in here. Yeah, we've got... oh man, look at all these little demons trolling around, causing me shit. Yeah, this is an ideal opportunity to just use that and clean them up in a linear way. Alright, so here we're going to have some of these essences. We might need to start looking into using those. We've sort of been ignoring the socketing mechanic that they have. And part of that is just how much it costs. Like, it is extraordinarily expensive to... Oh, wow. That was a misclick right there. Kind of wasted my big firepower in a very unsatisfying manner. My sort of flame strike spell is really just what knocks those things down pretty much instantly, so wasting that is probably a pretty fucking bad idea. This game has a lot of places where, especially if you're coming off of playing a bunch of Grim Dawn, you're like, well, that obviously should be a secret. Like, no questions asked. Yeah, see, that's how you deal with those things right there. Oh, nice. Okay, there we go. We got another level. We're actually at a stage where leveling up might be an ideal way to end this episode. So let's just kind of park ourselves over here, ruin a few more priceless artifacts, and then take a look at our levels. Okay, let's do it. Let's start over here and hit up his levels. Okay, so skill points, we're up to 2. We've got a level 2 Frost Chain, so we're not going to be able to do anything with that for a while. We could upgrade Possession. But we're not, well, let's see. I guess really the only reason we would do this is just for that increased duration. Now, we basically never use Possession, but that's primarily because I always forget about it. It could actually be kind of useful. On the other hand, gives us another big damage ability. Sort of a bit of an AoE damage ability for him. And he is suffering from some consequences in terms of damage being a little bit low. Increasing damage caused by demon strike. Meter resets after use. Is increasing damage. Strike. Okay, so this looks like maybe a little bit of a combo topper. So if we just like are beating on an enemy for a while, this could deliver a big punch. A couple of the fights this guy's been actually fairly key to, and like I say, he's suffering from low damage. Let's socket this, and we'll put it in place of Demon Strike as a bit of a harder hit. And we'll just see how that works. I don't know. It may or may not be useful, but we'll check it out. Okay, talents, we don't have one, but we do have some character points. Again, this guy's pretty easy. More hit points, more strength. All right, so he's a done deal. Let's reset to skills, and we'll go over to Evia, our main character. Well, we'll try to go to skills. Okay, so she has a level 1 Fire Breath, level 2 Sand Golem, Fire Shield, which I haven't been using, and the Flame Strike. Now, she's only got 1 skill point available. She could put up a projectile barrier. That seems kind of cool. The downside is with only 3 abilities, and her abilities serving her quite well. She's got the distraction, the Sand Golem tank, and the DPS. I think what I'd like to do is just wait for the skill point and upgrade the Fire Breath. That is just a big damage hit, and that's her job. So let's keep that, and then we'll assign her points. Any questions where these are? Yeah, they're going here. There we go. We're just going to keep stacking that. Her skill damage bonus is ramping up. Her magic resistance bonus, who cares, whatever, but that's still pretty good. Okay, so let's confirm that allocation, and we'll check out Urshak. Okay. Now, this guy has been getting a little bit more useful. I haven't used him a ton, but he's getting better. We don't have skill points to upgrade anything. We could take Suicide. The damage is nothing to sneeze at. But again, if you look at it, it's like a couple hits of multi-shot, and you'll lose him for the fight. So if you're kind of looking at it, it's like, okay, yeah, if you're out of soul stones, he's really low health, you're fighting a boss or something like that, you could just drop it, maybe clear ads, do some damage to the boss. I don't really know. I think I'd rather be saving and potentially adding to, something else in the future. So I'm going to save his skill points. Or I am going to give him a little bit more agility. Remember, we are trying to stack that critical chance bonus, and we're getting there. So I'm actually going to just round that up. We haven't stacked any more critical chance bonus, but I assume it's going to happen in the future. And then we are going to dump a little bit more to that skill damage bonus as well. So consider him done. And then we're going to go over to our undead zombie. We may as well start here. I'm going to drop 3 there, 2 here. He's, again, really simple. But let's see what he's got for skills. There might be some new stuff for him. Okay, so we have a couple of skills up at level 2, but we have a couple things that we could unlock. Now, here's the thing. Once again, I don't know really out of here what I would want to drop. This one, though, this caught my attention last time. It catches my attention again. So it looks here, continual poison. This basically means we can summon this guy, drop a dot, unsummon him, switch back to another character, and he keeps inflicting damage. That's how I picture this going. So I'm tempted to try this out. So let's take that. Now, obviously, we have to drop something that we're already using quite commonly here. We do have this upgraded to level 2. So I don't know if I really want to drop that. But then on the other hand, I don't know if I really want to drop this. These are all good abilities. We're gonna put this in over Feast for right now. Feast is a really cool ability because obviously we swallow something and then choke it back up as a functional allied zombie. So that's kind of cool in a disgusting kind of way. Okay, but there we go. That's level 8. Well, actually, I was about to call the episode, but you know what we might do? We did hit level 8, and we know that we have some kit that might become available at level 8. So let's show usable, and let's just cycle through. So you see immediately, any upgrade is good for him in that slot. So let's do that, and let's take a look at armor. We do have this rusty iron carapace. Let's equip it. That one was something I should have had in place anyway. Okay, he's got nothing in that slot, nothing here. Okay, and that's locked. He can't wear those anyway. But let's see. Is there anything better that we could wear for the belt? Not really. I mean, additional 10 armor against humanoid. It's pretty, you know, I'd almost rather just have the endurance. Because this is pretty specific. So yeah, so let's stick with what he's got in slot there already. Cloak, we don't have anything new. We do have this higher level. Once again, that's armor against humanoid. Pretty tempted to do that because he's wearing a mage cloak right now, which really doesn't match his build at all. So let's slap that on. We'll get that armor buff going on. Rings. Got that ring of courage. He doesn't really need that. We could give him this. Yeah, because this is kind of pointless. Like, he's wearing this. He doesn't need to be the one to wear this. He's not facing demons that often. I mean, we are occasionally facing demons, but I think that's almost probably better off on the Reaper, Devourer, whatever the fuck our demon's called. Okay, so I'm gonna drop a serpent ring on him instead of that demon slaying ring. The quartz ring, yeah, we'll stick with that. All right, moving on here. Let's see what Urshak's got. Does he have any weaponry? No upgrades there. Armor, no. Level 10 though. That's cool. Gonna be some straight up numerical upgrades. Mask, yeah. So okay, so it looks like we do have a pretty good mask going on here. That's nice. See, this is the thing with the essence, right? 1,005 to add essence, and I mean it might be worth it, but we only have 8,000. Like you know, we can't really do a ton of that. But we'll check it out. We'll see what we can do. Okay, so this is the new stuff here. It's indicating for us. We can't wear it yet. In terms of the cloak, this guy's definitely got the right cloak on. I mean, that one's too specific. That's giving him the better skills. Necklace, do we have anything? 10% healing power. That's interesting. Presumably that would just be 10% more healing coming from use of soul stone. Yeah, let's just go ahead and upgrade him to this. We'll keep that in the bag just in case somebody else needs it. We have an empty ring slot for him. Let's go ahead and give him additional damage versus demons. Because we have 2 of those courage rings. Okay, so let's drop back and do Evia now. So main hand, it's probably going to take a while for us to get that artifact, get better than that artifact. But Okay, we finally found some armor she can wear. She's been wearing this tattered level 1 armor for so long. Oh, look at that. That's actually kind of cool. It's a little bit interesting that all this stuff is like chitin as well. It's something that I hadn't really paid attention to before, but it's a little bit like, you know, that sort of Morrowind vibe of like people here because, you know, insects are so common. They use their chitin for a lot of stuff, which is cool. Here, once again, like, you know, basically a white item 7 levels higher is still more shit than our level 1 green. So we're going to keep that going. In terms of cloaks, yeah, gonna take a while to get better than that. She does have different gloves that she could wear, but these ones are obviously better with a little bit of stats on them. Okay, she's got a pretty shitty item right there. The Woodsman's Belt. Let me just check back over here for a sec. Yeah, I think that's an upgrade for him. And I'm just going to give it to him because it just kind of matches his character a bit more. He's kind of that rangery kind of character. And from her point of view, you can wear any of these. 10 armor against spirits. You know, this obviously would match our demon better again. I can give her the swordsman's. Not that she's a swordsman, but, you know, whatever. We do have another upgrade here. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty basic. Just way more survivability and a little bit of HP regeneration there. So we'll take that. It's fairly cheap to add essence to these boots as well, so we might actually look into that. We are running a little bit long. We'll probably do essence maybe at the beginning of next session. So let's just go through the rest of her gear, see what she has. Necklace. We do have this. Now, I'm actually pretty tempted to give this to her because we are primarily using her. But again, casting speed. No, casting speed too good. That one's not going to her. Rings. Okay, these are some pretty low-end rings. Let's actually grab this. Give her a scholar ring, because that's just better than a tiny amount of extra damage, just having that extra mana regen. She's already pretty stable mana, so I'm going to keep that going. Okay, so we're going to keep that ring slot. All right, and then we've just got the Devourer to look at. We do have an upgraded weapon for him. I don't know why we didn't already have that socketed. No wonder his damage is starting to dip. You know, we've got a bunch more here, so let's get that in slot. Armor. Fuck yeah. There we go. That's a huge upgrade. Huge upgrade. Plus 99 defense rating, and we get some resistance going on as well. Okay. Drop that in. We're going to have a bunch of stuff to sell. I think we're going to want to do that as well. Maybe at the beginning of next session, we'll do that, and then we'll take a look and see. Okay, there we go. Yeah, okay, this is the set that we took from that boss fight. And this is probably the payoff for taking on that pretty tough boss fight that we could have just bypassed with the sacrifice. So I'm glad we did that. Okay, so he's wearing this level 2 cloak. Gives him added damage or added armor against spirits, which is what he spends most of his time fighting. This gives him armor against humanoids, which is pretty useless to him, to be totally honest. So I think we're actually going to stick with this level 2 cloak. You know, the rest of these would increase his this one would increase his survivability, but honestly, the armor against spirit, whatever. That fits him. Okay, necklace. Yeah. Let's give him the healing ability because, you know, he is the only one we can use in the spirit realm, and he was eating a lot of damage in a couple of those demon fights lately, so let's give him more healing. That's EHP. Ring of Courage. Definitely better. So that gives him more damage against demons, which is something that he has going on all the time. Damage against elementals. Again, this not necessarily very useful for him because he's really not facing elementals, is he? Or at least not as far as I know. But again, he doesn't really have anything that useful. Yeah. I don't know. Whatever, we'll just leave that parked there for now. We should probably assign it to someone else, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, on that note though, I think we're going to go ahead and call it. Next session, we'll probably do a little bit more progress, and then we'll take a look at our gear. But as it stands, that's going to cut it for this time. We went a little bit long, but frustrating session. Couldn't find our way into those catacombs. I'll have to investigate that a little bit more and figure out what totally blatantly obvious thing I've been missing. But obviously I've been missing something blatantly obvious because I haven't even found the catacombs apparently. All right. On that note, thank you very much for watching, and I hope I'll see you in the next one.